Hello, welcome. Today I have a new ink review video for you. This is a sample of Monkeyhead Nebula by Colorverse. This is a glistening, it says, so it's probably going to contain some shimmer. So I'm just going to shake that up. And then we'll try making a swatch of this. All right. And I will look for this ink and leave a link for it down below for you in case you want to get yourself a sample. There we go. And I'm just going to leave a little bit extra down here just in case there's some interesting properties in the ink that we can see. I just need to pop the bubbles here. There we go. Okay. And we'll write the name. All right. And this is by Colorverse. Yep, Colorverse, yep. All right. Okay, so I'm going to put this swatch under the fan to dry, and we'll be right back. Here's how it looks so far. All right, so we're back, and I've got some copy paper here. And this copy paper is a good test for any other like cheap papers that you might have. Sometimes when you're at work or school, you don't have access to your nicer papers and you just want to know, will this ink even behave? How will it look? So all right, and this is copy paper. Whoops. Oh, you know what? I didn't shake it up. I should probably redo that. I apologize. Got some splatters going on as well. I'll have to clean that up too. All right. Let me just go over. In fact, I'll just make a new swatch down here because I really should have shaken that up. And we had some of these. Just a real quick to see if those shimmers are noticeable because I believe it does have some shimmer. So there we go. All right, I'm going to get a towel and clean up this ink I spilled. I'll be right back. Okay, so let's try. First of all, I'm going to set this aside to dry. I'm going to try the HP 32 paper next. And we've got the lid on. I'm going to shake. Have to remember to do that in between for all of these shimmery inks because the shimmers tend to settle to the bottom, and I believe this one does have shimmer in it. So for an accurate swatch, we need to be accurate. And HP 32 paper is just another type of copy paper, but it's smooth and it resists the ink a little bit, so you can sometimes see the different properties of the ink. All right, and we've got HP 32. There we go. I'll just draw some lines here. And if there are any other inks that you'd like to see me review, just leave a comment, and if it's an ink that I have or if I can get it, then we'll do a review video of it. There we go. Here's how that looks so far. I'm going to set that aside to dry, and then we'll get some Tomo River paper. Oh, and just like that, I forgot again. Let me shake this real fast. Okay. There we go. All right. And Tomo River paper always shows off the properties of the inks really well, at least usually. So we're just going to see how this looks. Having trouble finding the side of the pen that I like to write with. There we go. All right. You'll have to excuse my handwriting. I apologize. All right, this is Tomo River. We'll draw some lines here. And if you find these videos helpful, or if you like them, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you can see more. That side dried up. There we go. All right, let's get this clean. And I'm going to go ahead and check on our swatch and see if that is dry. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. So here's how this looks on copy paper. There's definitely some feathering, so this might not be the best one to use for that. But it does look like a very pretty color. Where the writing is at here, it looks kind of like a purpley blue. But over here in these swatches, it's like the color kind of breaks out into the grain of the paper, and you can see the purple and the blue separate out a little bit. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up. I don't really see any shimmers, so I'm wondering if, well, maybe a tiny bit here where that drop landed. Right here. There's a very tiny amount. It's just not noticeable. So this is a good one, I guess, if you don't want the shimmers to be noticeable, if you just want something more subtle. And same thing with this. There is shimmer. I do see it. So in here where I made the swatches, you can see in the darker parts where the ink pooled, there's a little bit of shimmer. It's like a coppery color, and it's very, very subtle. It's almost not noticeable. It almost looks more like just a tiny bit of color on top of this color without actually being shiny and sparkly, if that makes sense. And I don't really notice it in the writing. Yeah. So this might be one where you need to lay down a lot of ink to be able to see the shimmers. But it's a really nice purpley blue color. And then here it is on the Tomo River. And same thing as before, you got this lovely purpley color, and there is some shading as well. So if you like an ink that has some shading, this might be okay. And there's definitely some shading in here. And over here you see this, the shading down here in the writing. Sorry, I think I had that off camera. And then here you've got, with the blue and the purple kind of coming out, and then there's a tiny, right here where the ink pooled, you can see just a tiny bit of shimmer. I don't even know if the camera is going to be able to pick this up because I can barely pick it up in real life, but it is there. And then in a couple of places here, like on the A where the ink pooled, there's a tiny bit of shimmer. So this one, it looks like you'll get shimmer sporadically and it'll be very subtle, but it is a very pretty color. And then here it is on the swatch, and this swatch just makes it look so pretty. So you've got this lovely bluish purple color, a little bit of pink kind of peeking out in different places. And then in places where the ink pooled, like down here and on the top of this ribbon, you have the shimmers. And I'm hoping the camera will pick this up because I think there's enough on there that the camera should see that. It is just a little bit of like a pinky coppery kind of a shimmer. It's really pretty. It's just subtle. So if you like a shimmer ink that has very noticeable shimmer, this probably won't be the right one for you. But if you like something that's more subtle, then this would be perfect because it's just not super in your face at all. And you've got a little bit of shading going around here, and on the writing you can see some decent shading and a little bit more of that sparkle where the ink pooled. So this is a really nice color. I'll leave a link below where you can find this. And thank you so much for watching. You have a great day.